Hey, 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 it's Joy. Glad you're here joining me today. This has been a crazy day, and not sure if anybody can see me or hear me yet, but hopefully we're streaming. Okay, it looks like we are. Hi Jana, nice to see you. I'm a little late coming to my own party today. We probably need to get this stuff a little bit more in focus. It's been a very weird day for me. But anyway, so glad to see you. Hi Justine, how are you? Everything that I thought I was going to do today kind of went haywire. And I literally just beat myself here in order to come to the party. So I'm sorry that I'm a little disorganized, but we are going to be using the Egg-stra Special stamp set. So it's our little Easter set that's got our little ducks that have the paintbrush and the eggs, the little rabbit, and this is the Easter lily. And we've got a happy Easter, happy spring. So that's where we're going to go with that today. As you can tell, I've got a really small pattern in here. Yeah, so when I left the house today, I took the dogs to be groomed, which that wasn't the problem. See, I'm so sidetracked right now. I don't even know what I'm doing with my card yet. Anyway, that really wasn't the problem. I got them to the groomer, and then I had to go to the bank, did all that stuff. And, you know, where I live, we're like right in the groove of like Cincinnati and Indiana, all those places. And the highway was shut down because there were bad accidents. And that had me a little bit unnerved. So coming home, I had like this really weird, hi Tanya. I had to go down through Cincinnati to come home. Then as soon as I got home, the dog groomer called and said, hey, come get the dogs. And when I left, there was an undercover cop that's was up at the top of our street that's normally not there. And then I get to the elementary school, and there's an armored police car and a couple other police cars. Like, we're talking like the armored truck. And it was just very unnerving to see that, since I'm so close to the elementary school, that I don't know, it kind of had me shook. It just made you wonder. So then, I had to Google the things, right? And I Googled the things, and evidently the same place that there was a really bad accident today over in Indiana, same thing happened yesterday. So it was just really strange. Hi, Betsy. You guys, I don't have my glasses, so can you hang tight with me? I'm a mess. Give me a moment. I'm sorry. Now you get to see how nasty my desk is back there, because I've been crazy. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. So then I think my bird may have picked up that things were a little bit weird, because legitimately, when I left the house today, she had all of her feathers, and by the time I got home, she had picked every one of her feathers on her breast and under her wings out. So the same thing that we were dealing with a year ago, it's kind of like it's back, and it's very unnerving, the fact that she's doing all this weird stuff again. And she was really sick, so I had frozen some of her special food that I made for her when because she almost died this time last year. Was real sick, and I still had some of that frozen, and we gave that to her, and she went straight to the food. So I'm just wondering if her stomach's been bothering her, and that might be why she was picking because she was trying to get my attention, which makes me feel really bad because I missed it. I thought she was just kind of being mean and elusive because it's mating season, and you know she's 27, 28 years old and doesn't have a mate, so I mean that could be frustrating too. You know, no, so that's not Gracie. That's actually Baby our McCall. So I think most of you guys know Gracie. Gracie's doing great. So I am just trimming these panels down because I had them overcut. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But this is kind of the stuff you normally don't see on camera that I do, but I just like all the things to be right. So I'm going to put these aside. So these were our spring plaids. This is our Pebbled Beach. And this is going to be one of our layers. And then we're going to mat it in white. So it's going to be a really easy card. Yeah, it's craziness. Anyway, how's everybody else doing now that I've complained about my day? And it's not that I'm complaining. I just feel really bad for whatever it is I saw on the highway. And I'm hoping nothing happened at the schools and maybe it was like a lunch with a cop thing and they just went all out and did some special stuff. That's really what I'm hoping for. But I would have thought that by now, as much as I watch the news, that if there was something bad to report, that I would have already seen that. So, I just zoomed out, but we need to zoom back in, and we're going to play the seasick motions here. So I'm going to color the beak and his feet orange. I'm going to use the YR02. So Betsy, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a couple days and just wanted to check on you, see what's up with you. Now this is the YR07. And I'm just adding a little bit of, like a little dab will do ya. So it's fine just to do like, you know, simple coloring, especially when you have an image this big. It is a very cute stamp set. I love this one. Michelle Langley, who was on our design team, actually drew this one. So I normally always go dark to light, but I'm going to go ahead and put this lightest color down, this Y00. So even if you don't color with Copics, you can kind of use the same theory with any alcohol marker, actually any medium. You just have to find what works for you. I just put the lightest color down this time to prime my paper. Now we're doing Y08. So back to BB, I found some of the food that I had made her special last year, and I very quickly thawed that out, and she was like ravenous towards it. But I knew when I came home, because I came home with some chicken wings and some fries, and she's like a French fry whore. When she didn't want the fries, something was wrong. But then when I gave her the healthy food, man, she went all in. So I think we're looking at some vet bills. But that's okay. That's why we have them. We love them like they're our children. We're empty nesters. No pun intended, as I'm coloring a duck and talking about a macaw, right? So Betsy says she had to add a white noise machine at work because people are chattering and complaining too loud to me. You can't concentrate. Oh gosh. Yeah, I kind of have one of those going on, and I live by myself. Or I work by myself in my home. Sometimes the internet can be loud chatter. You know? So that's a really simple color on that duck. And I'm going to do the leaves first, or the greenery, and then we'll get into the flower. And mainly the reason we're doing it in that order is because I'm not sure what color I want that little flower to be. So I do like it when my springy greens are really bright. So I always underpaint with this YG01. It happens to be one of my very favorite colors in the Copic family. And then I will then start adding my other favorite colors. So I don't know if you guys know, but green is my absolute favorite color on earth. So, all right. So where this little guy's head is, so this is YG67. So I went from the very lightest green to almost like a blue, like this is a dark green. It's called moss, but it has a lot of blue in it. So we're really kind of like twisting these colors around. So right where that duck is overhanging, there's going to be a shadow or a cast shadow. There's also going to be one here, and you kind of want to go in the shape of the animal because that's the way a shadow would be. And I'm going to give a little bit of a shadow here, and I'm going to kind of carry that down. And then where this veining of the leaf is, I'm going to kind of follow that up. And that's about all we're going to do with that darker color. My next color is a YG17, so this is our darkest of the midtones. And I'm going to concentrate that, kind of extending that out and towards the base, kind of in little triangles. And I'm going to do a little bit here and a little bit there. Now we could get real technical with these leaves, but the artist drew these very simply, and I like that. So we can kind of, you know, dot it in, be happy, be done. And then with this YG03, which is my second midtone, which I'm actually intending it to be my highlight, I'm just kind of swiping over that, and so that YG01 isn't as bright, but it really makes everything else kind of pop and brighten up. So we just have a little bit of shadow there, nothing real big here. Now I am going to do the same thing with this YG01 down here on the grass. I'm just going to kind of ground him. And I extend it out just a little bit. Okay. And then under him, I'm gonna put a cast shadow here around his feet and around his bum. And then I'm just gonna kind of dot this. Okay. And I kind of bring some down because we're going to do that with every single color. So that was our YG67, which is my favorite Copic marker. Now this is YG17, and we're going to dot right over that, and we're going to extend it down. So we're kind of filling in the spots here. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing with this YG03. You guys are being awfully quiet today. What's everybody doing for Easter, if you celebrate Easter? See how that just kind of fills that in, but it gives you just a little bit of texture. All right, now I'm going to come in with a called YR27. Ow, that hurts. I have my little Copic marker case, and it's full of everything but Copics too. Mass in the morning, then dinner with family. That's about us. Our church actually does, they start Easter services like on Friday, and they go, I think we've got like 9 services that you can choose from between Friday and Sunday. We will probably still go on Sunday, because that's what we traditionally do. But it's kind of interesting how our church does it. We've got so many people, and we've got multiple campuses. But we'll probably go on Sunday, and then we'll have dinner here and kind of keep it quiet, you know. So I did YR 27 just for the like pollen of the Easter lily. Now I know Easter lilies are supposed to be white, and we could do that, but I would like to do something just a little bit different. So I am still dotting this. And this is R85. You could bring some R89 in, but you'd want to go sparingly with that. And since I'm heavy-handed, that'll probably be what I do last. Now I am going to put in a shadow there. It's really funny. We weren't very religious when I was a kid. I mean, we were the twofers. We kind of went to, you know, we did Christmas and Easter, and then it was lucky if, you know, we got there on time and my dad wasn't storing in the pews, which is kind of embarrassing to even say, but that's kind of the truth. It wasn't until I was in my late 20s, almost 30 actually, when I really started coming to church and really participating. No, I guess it was my late 20s. But, man, my life changed so much for the better when I decided to dedicate my life fully to Christ and to see the things that He could do in my life. You know, sometimes you try everything else first, and then when nothing else works, you kind of go to the only thing that matters. And unfortunately, I was a slow learner, and I had to go through all the hard stuff. But man, my life really changed when I found Christ. And as much as, and it's funny because like when I was a kid, man, we celebrated Easter. My mom did all the Easter egg hunts for the entire family, or for the entire neighborhood. She would open up our backyard to our entire neighborhood, and she did all the things Easter. And it's funny because I never truly loved Easter as a kid because it was like a production, you know. It was like, it was honestly, it was just too much. And I didn't really, like when you spend weeks stuffing eggs and stuff for people that you don't even know, which God love my mom for doing that kind of stuff. I mean, she's amazing that she did that in hindsight. I mean, wow. But I didn't really get it. In fact, I used to say it was one of my least favorite holidays. And then Christmas was kind of the same way where, you know, I understood who Jesus was, and I understood that we were supposed to go to church and that we didn't as a family. But when I finally really realized what He did for us on the cross and what, like it changed Easter tremendously for me, and it changed Christmas for me. I used to be all about the decorations. I used to be about all the Easter baskets, all the things. And now I'm just happy that I get to go to church. Does that make sense? And I don't know why I'm telling you all this stuff, because I don't usually talk about religion on my channel, but I don't think it's any secret that I'm a Christian. and that I met my husband at church, and that's kind of what we do, and it's what's important to us, and we hope that that shines through in the things that we do. I know that there are times that, you know, we can't always be perfect. What I'm using is a pen blade, and to be very honest with you, I think it's seen better days, but I'm trying to get it so I can put that cross in here. So this is the cross from Some Gave All. And so I'm trying to just wiggle this in. You know, best laid plans, right? I just might need an So I'm really struggling, and I hope y'all are, you know, getting a kick out of it. But I haven't made a true Easter card this year. So that's what I was doing that for. So this is by, I want to say it's by Slice, and it just retracts. I got this at a show, so I don't even know 100% where you get it, but that's what I'm trying to do with it. I am going to take this out. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it back in. So that's what I was going for. So let's put the card together, and then we can keep going. But anyway, Easter means a whole lot to me, but we don't really have like huge plans for Easter, because we just celebrate it as a family in a really sweet way, and we go to a place called Garden of Hope. We usually visit that. So that's in an area. It's called Covington, Kentucky. It's right across the border from Cincinnati, and it's up on a hill, and it's a replica of Jesus's tomb. And so we don't do the Sunday service because there's nobody in my family that's even going to pretend that we're going to be awake that early. But, and we should be able to do that. But we don't. But we go, and we kind of, as a family, we kind of reflect on what God has done for us, and we always say what we're thankful for. And usually it's kind of sweet. It ends up being that we say we're thankful for each other, and then we're thankful for the blessings that we've had throughout the year, and it's kind of cool. And then we go to the cemetery and take my mom some flowers and my grandparents. And then we come back and we have a very quiet dinner, and it's not like, it's just not all of the things anymore. And I think this is walking on me again, the camera. But we just, and Christmas is kind of the same way too. We just, you know, we celebrate the meaning of the holiday more than we do like the gifts and stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we buy each other gifts, but it's not the most important things. In fact, what was very strange for me, because my husband's, he's a way better guy than I am. Anyway, he didn't grow up having a whole lot, so holidays always meant a little bit different to him than what they did me. I'm ashamed to say. He's taught me a lot, actually, about what the meaning of certain things are. But, yeah, I'm really proud to say that, actually. I have a really good husband. Anyway. But he's the one that taught me that the relationship with God is more important than the gifts. And what he's also taught me is it's not always about the big gift that you get at Christmas, as far as like the one that you buy at the big box store or wherever, Amazon, whoever. It's the gift that you get from God. And it's been amazing that he's been able to transform me, because I came from a family that didn't comprehend that. We just, you know, we said our prayers when we were little, and that was that. But we, man, we don't celebrate it the way we do it in my house now. So anyway, I'm just very proud that I get to be part of a family, especially, you know, with my husband. I get to be part of his family, and he taught me things that My personal family never did. But I had to be open to learning those things before I could ever meet someone like him. And so, anyway, I'm just very thankful for him and thankful for what Christ has done for me. Like I said, I did everything on earth to make things work and never got it to work or figure it out until I figured out who God was. And when I finally just said, God, I've done all the things, I've done all the doctors, I've done all the, and nothing's worked. So it's on you now. And then when I finally just said it's on you and I'm trusting you to do what you need to do, man, he showed up in big ways. And so I'm just really thankful for my relationship with God and with my church. My very best of friends are from church. It's kind of amazing. So, anyhow, I think it's ironic that I'm doing a chicken and eggs and all the things that really aren't Christ-based. So I had to put my cross in there. So this is from, I said the Some Gave All stamp set and die set. We are sold out of the dies. We're going to get these back in because I'm actually teaching a class this summer. So Some Gave All is the tattered flag that's supposed to represent the like the veterans. I'm just not talking very well today. And it's our top selling stamp set. I'm gonna have to reorder it again. That's not a bad thing. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. And I'm teaching a class at Stamp Away using that. It's how to use that stamp 3 different ways and how to color it and different techniques that you can use with Copics and that stamp. So that's kind of what we're doing. And I just realized that I stamped on the wrong side of my paper. That's what happens when you walk in the door 6 minutes before you have to go on a live. So this is real world stamping. But yeah, I guess my heart's heavy today. After seeing those accidents and then seeing what might have happened out of school. I mean, I would have already heard about it. I think, Tanya, you would have heard about it too, I'm thinking. Let's see, where am I going to put this? Okay. I am going to put some twine on here if I can find it. And if I can't, we won't. And she's got it. I have silver. I don't have gold today, which I think gold would look better with this Pebble Beach cardstock, but we're going with the girls. So it's funny, Justine, next to your name, I keep seeing the wrench. And I'm like, why does she have a wrench? And it's because you've got access to the Pajama Crafter YouTube channel because you do videos. And I completely forgot. It was like, what is going on here? What is this? And that's why I'm seeing the wrench like crazy, So you guys know that I always put wet glue on my double-sided adhesive because I can't get things straight. If you look, I don't think I even cut this 100% straight. When you use a plaid, it's real easy to mess it up. That's why I usually like diagonal plaids. So we just added a little bit of twine, and I'm popping this up too because this is a me card. You don't like foam tape? To me, whoever I'm sending a card to is totally worth the extra stamp set. Or I'm sorry, the extra stamp, like the postage stamp. So I don't have a problem putting 2 stamps on a card to send it. I've even put it in a bubble mailer before. Because if I'm taking the time to make you a card, it's because I love you and care about you, What do you guys think? I'm gonna grab some gems. You guys might be seeing something that's coming into the store. You see these pink little flat sequins? I'm taking my glasses off because I cannot see the screens and my paper. But those are going to be in the store as soon as I get them bagged up this weekend. So they're definitely going to be at the show in Virginia. And that's another reason why our Easter will be a very quiet one, is because we will be bagging up 450 make and takes for the show. Thank you, Tanya. You know, I used to be about making like these gigantic, like over-the-top cards, but lately I have been into like the clean and simple 5-minute card. And you know, when you have to be on a live and you have to talk, sometimes you can't do all those things. So I'm just giving myself grace. I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm actually in my pajamas still. I left the house to go to the groomer, to the dog groomer, this morning in my pajamas, and I am still in my pajamas. I went to the bank in my pajamas. I went to lunch in my pajamas. I did everything in my pajamas. And when I say I'm a pajama crafter, I'm not lying. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to add too very much more to this. I feel like you could totally put sun rays behind that cross. You could do all kinds of things. But when I think of the cross, I like the simplicity of it, you know? I just want it to be about Jesus. So for me, this was my Jesus card. This was me using a stamp set that I think is absolutely precious, and doing a little bit of Easter the old-fashioned way. So I am going to take my little Sharpie acrylic pen, and I'm going to dot some of this in. I said I was going to come back in with that R85, but I totally changed my mind on that. Happy Tech says hello. Thank you. All right, and I think we're going to give him a little highlight on his little beak here. Maybe there. And I think we're going to call that done. What do you guys think? Do you think it needs more? I think we could zoom in a little bit and get it focused. And I think he's really sweet. So this is really all that I had planned, even though it seems like I've been rambling. This is what I've got going on. You've been quiet in the background. Well, I'm glad that you came, and I'm glad to share my relationship with Christ. I probably could have done a better job at it if it had been a planned thing, because I mean, I have like actually given a testimony at church before and done different things, but yeah, so if you're ever in the Cincinnati area, Justine, this is for you, because I know you're going to be here. I highly recommend that you and Melanie go see the Garden of Hope. It's a replica of Jesus' tomb, and it's got some artifacts from the tomb, from the area, you know, surrounding the tomb, what they presume are. So yeah, I know that. And then we've got the Creation Museum here in Northern Kentucky that I highly recommend if anybody's from this area. And then a little bit south of us, still in Kentucky, about about 45 minutes from Cincinnati. There is Noah's Ark, or I'm sorry, the Ark encounter. So you actually get to see like what the replica of what the Ark would look like based on what's been written in the Bible. And it's a heck of a thing to see. I highly recommend that everybody go see it. I mean, whether you're a believer, not a believer, just to see the size and to see the beauty of it. I will say that some of the things that we were taught in school, as you know, don't always reflect what is written in the Bible as far as creation goes. And when you go to the Creation Museum and you go into the very first room, you're going to be going, you either 100% believe in the Big Bang Theory or you 100% believe in creation. And if you believe 100% in the Big Bang Theory, you're going to be speechless when you go into the first room, and it's going to take a lot to take it all in, and you'll probably need to go back 3 and 4 times maybe to really get the full gist of it. But I highly recommend it. And again, the Ark Encounter teaches all the same things that the Creation Museum does, but it's more about the grandeur of the boat and how all the animals were sorted and, that kind of thing. But if you really want to get into like the nitty-gritty education part, get the 2-day pass, or I don't know if it's 2-day or 3-day pass that they have. I have a season pass, so I go all the time. But go to the Creation Museum first would be my recommendation, and then go to the Ark. There's way better food surrounding the Creation Museum because it's closer to Cincinnati. But that's just my my 2 cents worth. And if you're ever in the area, you can always hit me up via email. Maybe I'll meet you there or something. You never know. Okay, so I think that's it. So Tanya is saying the Ark and the Creation Museum are amazing. The only thing I don't like about the Creation Museum is when they do the reptile experience, like their 1-hour show. I'm scared to death of snakes. Like, I tap out. Like, if there was a snake in my house, I would just leave it. I would never come back. I would never grab my stuff. I'd move. I'd be gone, and I would never come back. Like, they freak me the heck out. So when I went to the reptile thing with my friend, he really wanted to see it, and I was dying the whole time. But they do keep them contained. You don't have to touch it. They don't even come near you. Just the fact that I'm in the same room with them freaked me out. But anyway, that's that. Anyway, I think I've rambled on about my life and my day way too much. I just think this is such a sweet card. I love it. It turned out better than I actually thought it was going to. So, all right, guys, you have a good day. I will see you on Friday, which happens to be Good Friday, and it's going to be a really good Friday for Pajama Crafters because it's our new release date. We almost thought about pushing it back because of it being Good Friday. Not sure if people would be traveling or whatnot, but it's a really super cute release. I say that every time, but it's a lot of fun, and the stuff the design team did, all right, I'm going to give you a hint. They knocked it out of the park. All right. Bye, guys. Love you.